Well, the first thing that I'd like you to know about our family is that we're just an ordinary family doing ordinary, everyday things. There really is nothing special about us. It's just a way of thinking. Each day starts pretty much the same as Nathan prepares to leave the house. He gets a kiss on the forehead and what I like to believe are a few words of wisdom. Be the best that you can be. And then I give him an affectionate pat on the back and I say, go get 'em, Tiger. Now the affectionate pat on the back is just a reminder that it's over to him as he's off to journey through his day. And what a journey it has been as Nathan has navigated his way through school and work experience to paid employment. To have a son who can say, I'm living the dream, certainly keeps a smile on my face. When I reflect on how that has come to pass, I have to be honest and say that it hasn't been through any structured or formalised approach. We simply believe that Nathan could live a life full of possibility, just like his two younger brothers, Linton and Jaden, who you can see in this photo with Nathan. The expectations around Nathan are the same as they are for his brothers, and that is that we hope that given the right opportunities, all three of our children will reach their potential, whatever that will be. It is only through experiencing life and taking risks that we come to know our potential. We've always supported the boys to try new things, to express their likes and dislikes, and to know that what they say will be listened to. I suppose that another way of putting it is that we've always done our best to create a space for them to experience the highs and lows of life so they can learn and grow from their experiences. Here are a few snapshots. Nathan with his kindergarten class, and he's easily spotted as he's the cute one. A shot of the family being daredevils and jet boating in New Zealand. In a helicopter, although you can see that Nathan is looking a little tentative. This photo shows Nathan in surf life-saving gear. Our entire family has been involved in surf life-saving for 14 years. And I think one of the reasons Nathan keeps so motivated is there's always a lot of very attractive girls around. Also, like his brothers, we have tried to provide Nathan with guidance and support to the extent that this will facilitate him achieving his dreams. Nathan commenced work experience at the start of Year 11 for 1 day a week. It was organised by the school. His first placement was at a Target store. Now, Nathan would tell you that he enjoyed working in the ladies' underwear section, hanging the G-strings. I think it's fair to say some teenage boys would. But he didn't enjoy working in the loading docks, where it was dirty, cold and isolated. He knew that this was not the type of work that was best suited for him. And as parents, we wanted something more suitable for our son. We decided to be more proactive in the future. At the time, my husband Marcel and I asked ourselves, what does Nathan enjoy doing the most? What is he passionate about? What would be a good fit for a boy at the age of nearly 17? Well, he's really passionate about film. And so, this is what I did next, and I'd like you to join me. I took my left hand up, if you can all join me, and I placed my thumb and my index finger together in what's known in yogic terms as Gyan Mudra. I placed that on my lap. I then took my right hand, placed it on my right nostril, with my fingers pointing up in the air. I then shut my eyes and gently rolled my eyes up to my third eye, which is my brow point in between the eyebrows, with the eyes closed, and if you can just bear with me. And then I inhaled through my left nostril. So inhaling through your left nostril and exhaling through your left nostril. And inhaling and exhaling. A deeper breath this time, inhaling and exhaling. And continue with that while I tell you why I did this. I did this left nostril breathing because it helps with the parasympathetic nervous system, and it helps to calm you and center you and bring clarity. And then I opened my eyes, which is what you can do now, and I picked up the phone and I made my first phone call to our local Video Easy store. I told them about Nathan's love of film and simply asked the owner if Nathan could do some work experience. Nathan commenced work experience Thursday afternoons after school. I also spent those same afternoons in the video store with him to support him. He enjoyed this time, and he learnt many skills like sorting and filing DVDs alphabetically and in their specific genres. He also learnt to keep the shelves in order and dust-free. He was good at this job, however, it was highly likely that there would be no long-term future in this type of role. So Marcel and I discussed where we would like to see Nathan long-term. I thought corporate, wearing a suit, in the city, the big end of town. Wonderful dream, or so I thought. I had remembered a conversation I had with a friend's husband. He had previously worked with a person with disability and spoke very favourably about that experience and how much the employee was respected and valued in the workplace. That's what we wanted for Nathan. Employment where he would be respected and be a contributing and valued employee. So I made a second phone call and spoke to my friend's husband to see if Nathan could do some work experience at his work. Although he had just changed his employment and was in a new job, he sent an email to the Human Resources Department making a request on Nathan's behalf. The request was approved by the company's CEO and supported by Nathan's school. A structured plan was put in place for Nathan to commence work experience. He was provided with guidance and learned to catch the ferry to Circular Quay and then to walk the distance to the offices at Chifley Towers. So over an 18-month period, every Friday during school term, Nathan would work at the major global financial services and wealth management firm Morgan Stanley. He was an office assistant and undertook tasks such as sorting the mail run, refilling photocopiers with paper, checking security bins, and deliveries over the company's 4 floors. Some of Nathan's strengths include that he is generous and open and has a quick wit. By being so, he gives others the opportunity to be the same. And so he enjoyed a very social experience with his co-workers. This is a shot of Nathan at work, and then with some of his co-workers from corporate services at Morgan Stanley. This was the big end of town, and the feedback we received was that they loved having Nathan around, and we loved him being there. As you can imagine, we were feeling quite self-satisfied. When it came toward the end of Nathan's Year 12 schooling, Nathan's mentor and supervisor at work called him in for his weekly update meeting and said, "Well, Nathan, you're nearing the end of your schooling. What do you see yourself doing? Do you see yourself working here?" "Oh no," said Nathan. "This is just work experience. I want to work with celebrities." When his supervisor came out of the meeting and told me, "Well, Joe, Nathan doesn't want to work here. He wants to work with celebrities," let me tell you, there was a small part of me that just wanted to grab Nathan by the throat. However, I took a deep breath again, and as we left the building that day, I asked Nathan, "So you want to work with celebrities? Well, how can we make that happen?" And he promptly and very casually replied, "I could work at Nova radio station with Merrick and Rosso and Kate Ritchie." These were the guys on radio that we listened to every morning as I drove my 3 boys to school. Again, a small part of me thought, yeah, right, you're dreaming. And then the larger part of me thought, why can't he live his dream? Why can't we at least try? I thought to myself, what's the worst thing that could happen? They'll say no. It's definitely worth the risk. So I made my 3rd phone call. I called Nova radio station in Sydney and was transferred to their human resources department and the manager that worked out of the Adelaide office. I started the conversation by saying, "Hello, my name is Joanne Basha. Do you have just a few minutes, as I'd like to tell you a story?" The response, "Sure." I simply told the truth. I have a son who has been doing work experience for every Friday for 18 months during school term as an office assistant in a terrific company where they all love him. He's nearing the end of his Year 12 schooling, and although he could work at this fabulous top-shelf company, he wants to work at Nova radio station. I then said, "Now you may be wondering, why is the mother of an 18-year-old boy calling me?" Well, Nathan happens to have Down syndrome. On the other end of the phone, I was hearing, "We should do this. We could do this. This would be a good thing to do." The company at the time did not have anyone with a disability employed, and while I was talking work experience, the HR manager was already thinking employment. He was coming to Sydney the following week and a meeting was arranged. I, along with a representative from the agency that was to provide Nathan with workplace training and support, attended. I was armed with a photo of Nathan and hope. As I shook hands with the HR manager and introduced myself, I handed him the photo of Nathan. I said, "This is Nathan, and you could really make a difference to his life." And the rest is history. Nathan started work experience in Term 4, 2009, as his Year 12 cohort was sitting their HSC. I might add that Nathan continued his Fridays at Morgan Stanley until the end of that year. He was employed on a permanent part-time basis by Nova in early 2010. And yes, Nathan is working with celebrities. And as he likes to tell everybody, he's living the dream. Nathan was initially supported with post-school funding designed to help him gain the skills and confidence to secure employment. That service provider still supports him. He used his strengths by being open and generous with people in the workplace. His supervisor at Nova is the General Manager's executive assistant, and she has become part of Nathan's network. His backup supervisor, although currently on maternity leave, is still in weekly contact with him. So you can see that meaningful relationships have been forged. Nathan has even been given a spotters fee of $1,000 for recommending one of his childhood friends from his mainstream primary school for the receptionist role. It's interesting to note that she too says she's now living the dream. Nathan's experience at Nova is so positive because it's such a terrific fit for him. Nathan's many interests and strengths reflect those of his co-workers. He loves music, film, comedy, and so does everybody else. Nova is a very interactive workplace, and Nathan's social interests really mean he's on the same wavelength with others and that he has things to contribute. It is a context where he can shine. This contrasts with Nathan's experience at the financial organisation, where it was a great place with great people, but it wasn't a great fit for Nathan. So how does one make a starting point to help another live the dream? In our case, it took our attitude about what was possible for Nathan in all facets of his life. At the most basic level, 3 phone calls. First, the call to Video Easy. Second, the call to the big end of town, Morgan Stanley. And third, the call to Nova radio station. 3 phone calls were the start of a dream that put Nathan and his desires first. Ultimately, Nathan had the vision, and my job was to listen and really hear him. He taught us to dream bigger. I was to help to make his vision a reality by following his lead and taking the journey with him. How did we do this? We did this by making use of connections and not settling for work placement that didn't fit with who Nathan is. We did it by taking chances and facing the possibility of rejection. We did it by expecting that Nathan would have the same opportunities to discover who he is and forge his place in the world in all facets of his life, including work. Of course, the dreams you have for your sons and daughters, or the people you support, are going to be unique to them. What they need to make them happen will also be unique. I would say that even if dreams sound fanciful, such as Nathan's first did, I want to work with celebrities, there is always an achievable first step. I encourage you to look for possibilities and dare to dream big. As we all know, we don't know anyone's potential if we don't explore opportunities and push the boundaries. I invite you to have the courage to try new things and take the first step, knowing that it may result in failure. Please don't accept things that you wouldn't accept for your other children or yourselves. Take risks and put aside your own fear of rejection. What spurred me was that my hope for Nathan to live his dream was far greater than my fear of rejection.
It's not impossible for people to get the dream job. And I'm living proof of that. Look at me, I'm living the dream. It was my desire to work at the radio station and on the shoulders with celebrities. Some people may have dismissed the idea, but I know who's what he wants. And I achieved this goal with a little help from my mom. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? Speaking of songs, I did work with hip and free music playing in the background while I'm doing my job. For a young man like me, this week has been renovated and has really plays my kind of music. You'll be wondering what I do at Nova. Well, I am not in the DJ studio just yet. Although I'm looking up to it. I'm employed as an office assistant, and my job description is to do the number 1, the filing, the refiling of the 3 copier machines, cleaning the kitchens, sort the boardroom, and date stamping for finance. Here are some photos of me at work. I do these jobs with a 969 with Smooth FM, which, if I can put in a punctual plug, new kind of listening music. I have the coolest job, as the people I live are really young, hip and groovy. It's like being in a Austin Powers movie. It's a fun place to be. I work 3 days per week, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. And I'm the first studies at the University of Sydney, where I'm currently studying philosophy and filmmaking. I have just been involved in making a short film, where I was the first assistant director. This photo you see is me with Genevieve Clay Smith, who won Truffest a couple of years ago and was the director on the film that I was working on. My motto is, no dream is too big. If they can put me out on the news, they will move me to never. Anyway, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. I believe that I wanted to work at Nova, the radio station, and I was fortunate that others believed it was possible too. I'm a valued employee who's punctual, professional, and proficient. Actually, I'm pretty funny too. I'm good at what I do. And I'm proud to say I never had a sick day. This video to show you how motivated I am. I'm quick to get up early in the morning and you leave for work and catch your bus into Pyrmont. I meet lots of friends at work that I enjoy socializing with. Also, the new perks to my job, such as I get to go to the Iowa Movie Awards every year, I get free tickets to bands as Usher, Chris Brown, and King Leon. I get free movie tickets, DVDs and TV shows, magazines, and the opportunity to do some Nova promotional parties, as well as my work Christmas party. But most importantly, I get to meet and work with celebrities. Pretty cool, isn't it? Here are some photos of me with celebrities. Nick, Russell, and Kate Ritchie. With Good Charlotte. With Matt Preston. Adding to my autograph collection, Katy Perry and Good Charlotte. This is my employer at Nova, giving my experience and financial company to my experience at Nova.
So what made Nova a great fit for Nathan was the experience that we had in just through the process of employing him, where we understood he'd come out of working in a banking environment, accounting environment, and nothing against accounting practices or anything like that, but I absolutely believe in this case it's about finding the passion that drives the individual. I joined Nova and DMG because I love music, I love entertainment, I like that nature, the nature of the cut and thrust of the media, and I'm still in that world. When Nathan joined us, it was very clear that what he didn't like and what he was less passionate about was accounting. But what he loved was music. He has a deep desire for music. He's also a very, very funny human being. He's a comedian. And our corridors were littered with comedians, some of the biggest and best. Merrick and Rosso at the time, and then ended up Merrick and Dools, and a whole bunch of people who interacted with him which in a sense brought out the passion that he has. And so when we had people like, for example, Good Charlotte, who was Joel and Benji Madden, in the recording studios. I mean, one of the things we found out was that was a band he loved. And our ability to integrate and open up an opportunity for him to meet those two guys, well before their rise to fame through The Voice and so forth, but well thought through, he took that in his stride. He was incredibly overwhelmed by it. But as a mature kid, he actually sucked it up. He loved every moment, and I guess most importantly, for us, witnessing that opportunity, we knew that what we'd done is struck a chord with his deep desire, his deep passion to live out that music and entertainment world. And so I think ultimately it comes down to fit. If you can find the deep, driving, burning desire within someone and connect that to a workplace, then that person never has to go to work. They actually just turn up and do what they do. So functionally he was ticking a box, culturally he was ticking a box, but I think also our ability to connect and make the fit for him real also made it a great experience.
I believe that the work experience that I did while I was at school helped me by building positive self-esteem and giving me confidence and skills. Like building blocks, I put on what I learned. It helped me build my courage to take risks and keep trying new things. I'm very pleased to be speaking here at the Odyssey Conference. I looked up the word Odyssey, and it means an extended adventurous voyage or trip. I think that this is the perfect way to describe my journey through life. An extended adventurous voyage or trip. I think that the Odyssey is a journey of finding yourself. And the progression of finding yourself may take time, but if you're persistent, you can get to know what you want and achieve your goals. Take me, for example, and I journeyed into my dream job. I continued my journey to things that I enjoy, like making films and taking courses that used me at university. In my workplace, knowing what things means and what's going on is important, and it's been great to me to get a film with you. Adding to my skills will make it easier for me to have choices in the future. I hope you, by hearing my story, you may help somebody else achieve their dream job. Life is about the journey, and with having courage to take risks and overcome your fears. Every day I journey through life, just trying to be the best I can be. I try to live a new life, and regular things with regular people. In living a new life, I can say it is my life extraordinary. If I was leaving you with one last thought, in life you just have to be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Thank you.